Good afternoon. How are you? It is Lori Hoy here, coming to you live from where I always come to you live from most of the time, in my kitchen. I titled today's video, "Have you lost your marbles?" And the reason I did that is this. So I want to call today, oh, now I can't even remember what I was going to call it. A Monday moment or a Monday something. I can't remember. Anyway, I had it, but then it just went. So those of you know that have followed me for any length of time know that I do a lot of personal development, meaning I have shared that I listen to podcasts, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and I don't mean gaming videos, or I might watch a video on how to do something, but motivational things I watch on YouTube. I listen to books on Audible or audio books, or I actually physically have, the book and I read it, right? So the last book that I listened to, almost said read, but I'm still reading it, right? Was The Year of Yes with, actually that's not true. Yes, it is. The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes, which was excellent. And then this weekend, I found a new book. I didn't know that this author had released it. It was from Brene Brown. So if you know the Brene Brown series of books, and I apologize if you hear the humming in the background. I'm cooking some things in my air fryer, so I'm trying to do two things at once. And in Brene Brown's newest book called Daring to Lead, she had talked about a marble jar. Now, for those of you that don't understand that or never heard of a marble jar before, let me just enlighten you. I know my teachers out there will understand what I'm talking about. So basically, she references in this book how in her child's classroom, her teacher has a jar, and when the class collectively did something positive, she would add marbles to the jar. And then conversely, if they did something that collectively wasn't a positive act, she would remove marbles from the jar. So when the jar got filled, they got a special, I don't know if it was a special treat or an activity they could get to do that they don't normally do on a regular basis. So as I'm listening to this analogy of this marble jar, I started to think about how, and part of what she was talking about is relationships. And I've been talking the last few times I've come live about relationships, because I truly feel that if you don't have good relationships in your life, whether it be friendships, whether it be intimate relationships with, a spouse or a significant other, or with family members, you really are at a disadvantage. How's that? I don't know how else to say it. One of the things that I know I have in my coaching world is a community of people that I can reach out to. And that's just one set of relationships that I have. And then I have friends that I've had, since I was in elementary school. And that's another community of people that I can rely on. And then I also have the people that I worked with as a teacher that I feel that I have strong relationships with. So anyway, she was talking about these relationships, and she was talking about how friends can either add marbles to your jar, or they can have the marbles removed. And so, I want to talk a little bit about relationships today, but I want to also bring that into other aspects of your life, that marble jar. If you think of, and the jar starts empty. So at the beginning of the school year, the jar starts empty. And that's basically where we are. Clean slate, right? Every week. Every day, actually, we have a clean slate. And we start with our empty marble jar. And in your daily activities, you're going to come across people that are either going to add marbles to your jar, or they're going to remove them, right? So I think of the people that add marbles to your jar are people that are just always I don't want to even say just in a good mood, but that are always positive. They always have a kind word to say. They always smile to you. They're helpful. They give instead of always take, okay? And then there are people that we meet up against that are the opposite of that. The curmudgeons, or they always are taking, or, calling and wanting something from you when they never really call to give. And so we have people in our lives that are putting in marbles, and we have people in our lives that are taking out marbles. And I am hopeful that in your life you have more people putting marbles into your jar than taking away. And I have to sit back and think about my life now and the terms of this marble jar. What I'm doing now in my life, I feel like the majority of the people that I've surrounded myself are marble jar fillers. And I'm happy about that. And that doesn't mean that the people that are taking from my marble jar aren't redeemable or are always going to be takers. But if they're always the people that you come up against, and they're always negative, and they're never have a kind thing to say, you may want to reevaluate handing out marbles to that person at all, and having them be in your circle, because you end up being the sum of the 5 best people that you're around. So if you're hanging around with people that are constantly negative, constantly tearing other people down, constantly not being happy about their life and their situation, and always complaining, you will eventually end up like that too. So I'm hopeful that for you have a lot of marble jar friends that are putting in. But I also wanted to shift this whole marble jar thing to your health and your fitness, because let's face it, guys, I'm going to talk about health and fitness because it's something that I'm passionate about. And I know that this can help some of you out there. Just recently in my the beta group, I'd asked the participants to share some results that they've had in the first 6 weeks of this group. And I asked for them to take measurements. And I'm not always asking about the weight, because I could care less about the scale. What I talk about is non-scale victories, and I also talk about inches lost, because that's more important. That's where you see a definite change in your body when inches are lost. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. That's not my point. But I want you to think about your nutrition throughout the week. So for those of you that are saying to your family and your friends, I watch what I eat, or I think I eat pretty healthy. So you're taking your whole week and you're adding those marbles to your marble jar by drinking more water, by moving your body, by eating leafy green vegetables, by all those things that I've tried to share with you that I've found that have worked for me throughout your week. And then all of a sudden, the weekend hits. I'm guilty of this too. All of a sudden, the weekend hits, and you start to remove those marbles from your jar. You go to a wedding, and you don't plan ahead, and you don't know what they're having there for their meal. And so you decide that, well, I have to eat something. So you have the cake, and you have the macaroni and cheese, and you have the baked beans, or whatever, that if you are truly trying your best to become a healthier and happier person based on maybe some of the things that you've read, or maybe some of the things that I've shared with you, and you're slowly removing the marbles out of your jar, it's the weekend, it won't hurt, right? And I get it, guys. Listen, I am not perfect on the weekends. If anything, on the weekends for me, I probably just don't eat enough, because I'm trying to fit in everything I can in those 2 days, right? Because I work at the center all week, and I'm doing, I'm also coaching during the week. So one of the things that I want you to think about is, if you are on that journey, if you're trying really hard to be conscious of what you eat, or just be healthier in general. Maybe it's just doing some exercise, or maybe it's taking time out to read a book, and that's a jar filling activity in my book. That you're not choosing to do things that take the marbles out, because once the jar is empty, it's really, it's a clean slate. I get that, but we want to try to continue to fill our marble jar up so we can enjoy the health and wealth that we have from that. So anyway, I don't know. It was just something that I thought was interesting way to take that real small little thing that kids love in a classroom, and that filling of the marble jar, and apply it to other areas of your life, of your relationships, of your health and fitness. And it really truly can actually bleed into a lot of other areas in your workplace, of whether you are filling your marble jar. It can be in the career you've chosen. Are you taking the steps forward to actually doing the thing that you've always wanted to do, that you've dreamed to do, but are you doing the things that will fill that marble jar? So I'd love for you to think about that a little bit and see if at all that analogy can help you visualize, because I know for me, I'm a very visual person, and I know there's marbles around here somewhere, but I think for me, it's something I want to try. Another thing that, I think of too, this is a negative, is like a swear jar. We used to have a swear jar. Or if my husband said something that I felt was annoying and we would talk about it, I'd say, okay, you have to put $1 in that jar because you're annoying me, or you said something that's annoying. And of course, he has the same thing for me too. But I think of that as an end result can be, hi, Robert, something that could be very beneficial to have something like that, where you put in your marble jar, if you fill your marble jar up because you're making really good choices, whether it be with friends, or whether it be in your job, or whether it be in your fitness, or whatever it is, that by the time you get that jar filled, that you do something to treat yourself, and something that's not a negative effect on your own personal health and well-being. Because I know a lot of times when people say they want to treat themselves, it's like, let's go get a pizza. Because that used to be me. Weight Watchers, I think I've shared this before. On Tuesday night after weigh-in, I'd go get a pizza. So that wasn't really something that was a treat. It was actually something not beneficial for me. But like, treat yourself to go buy a new book, or ladies, you can go get a pedicure or a manicure, or buy a new sweater, or a new hat. So anyway, I hope that was something that will let you kind of just ruminate on and chew on and digest a little bit. And I hope you haven't lost all of your marbles to friends or people in your life that are takers, and that you're finding people that are filling your marble jar one marble at a time every single day, and that you're doing things in your life to completely fill your marble jar as well. So guys, I hope you're having a fabulous Monday. It's kind of not so pretty of a day here, but that's okay. I'm still going to do things that make my day marble jar fillable. I like this. I hope this was helpful, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.